What's up YouTube, it's Go Explicit, the best source for GTA 5 and Call of Duty knowledge, and I have completed the Criminal Mastermind challenge in GTA 5 Online. So what I'm going to do to make this simple is I'm going to show you the payouts that we got so you can see the money. Then I'm going to cover the basics that you need to actually complete the challenge. Then I'll cover a few cars that we used throughout the challenge that are most beneficial to you in getting through things. And then I'll cover a few of the setups and heists that we had trouble with, some things that we did to get through them, just in case you have some trouble with them too. So obviously we made right around $13 million in this challenge, and it's not easy, so don't think this is just some quick way to make money. But there's 26 missions, setups, and heists included that you have to go through. And if you actually go to your statistics when online and then scroll down to awards and then heists, you can actually see the Criminal Mastermind challenge there and keep track of your progress. There are three big things that you want to keep in mind when doing this challenge. You have to use the same 4 people for every single setup and mission, obviously. They all have to be in order and nobody can die. And so when I say that, you can actually fail. If you do see that you're going to be failing, have all 4 members back out of the game and close it, and then you can come back and it will keep track of your progress. You don't want to get through the entire challenge and then lose it because someone failed or died or something like that. So if you need to, you can do that. And then of course everything has to be on hard difficulty. We did a few things like we were always in the same CEO whenever we were doing missions. We traveled together to minimize that time between setups and heists and stuff like that to try and get them done quickly. And we always launched from the same heist room all together before each setup and mission just to make sure that everything was together for the challenge. As for the cars and weapons that we used, I would say first and foremost, someone has to have a Kuruma. If everyone has a Kuruma, then you're good, but you need it bulletproof, armored, it's quick. We used it in almost every setup and mission. It's going to help you get through a lot of things. You can just stay in that while you take a lot of people out. I would say the Kuruma is priority number 1. And then we also used a Vigilante, which is the Batmobile. If you have someone who's skilled with it, it's a lot of fun. You can put rockets on it and take things out, so it'll also help you in some of those setups. And then as far as weapons go, you just want to make sure you have something silenced for those silent missions that you have to go through. I mainly used an AR to take people out. Snipers also help. So as far as missions go, for the Fleeka job, as long as you just follow the directions that are on screen, you should be fine. It's a relatively easy heist. For the prison bus, the first mission, prison bus plane, you just want to make sure you stay in the Kuruma and drive around and shoot everybody. There's gas cans all around the little McKenzie airfield. You want to make sure to blow those up when you're not close to them because you could blow the car up and mess everything up. Setup number 2 is relatively easy. If you just follow the directions, you'll be good. Setup number 3, just call 911 on your phone and they'll bring you a police car. And then all you have to do is take it to the police station, walk in, get the schedule, and then torch the police car and you'll be fine. Setup number 4 is relatively easy. If you just follow the directions, you should be fine. And then the heist itself is pretty self-explanatory. All you have to do is break in and get Roshkovsky out. The pilot just needs to fly in circles pretty much. The demolition guy just takes out all the planes and jets chasing him. And then you just make your way through the prison. Setups number 1, 2, and 3 are pretty basic on Humane Labs. All you have to do is follow the directions and you should get through those pretty easy. Number 4, however, where you have to steal the helicopter is pretty hard. You want to all be in the same Kuruma, that way you don't die, but there is helicopters shooting missiles at you, so when you see those, you want to make sure to get out and take those out, or they're going to kill you and you'll have to start all over. Setup number 5 is actually pretty difficult. You want to make sure you have a silencer, and then you have to take out the people along the left side of the base and work your way in. It's easy if you have a skilled person go up front and take several people out at one time, and then you all have to take the man out and the insurgent whenever he drives to you, or else you'll mess up the mission. As far as the actual heist goes, as long as you just follow the directions and get in and out as quickly as you can, you should be fine. Series A, setup number 1 is pretty easy. If you just follow the directions, you should be good. And then on setup number 2, the guy who is riding shotgun, the passenger in the front, if he just gets out while the others collect the trash for each of the stops and covers them, you should be good. You're able to collect the trash in enough time that everybody can help and kill all the guys coming after you before you move on to the next checkpoint. For setup number 3, just make sure you have a silencer and you move along the left side of the map. It's much easier to take everyone out that's not looking at other people, and you should be fine. Setup number 4, again, if you just stay in the Kuruma and take everyone out while the snipers take everyone out from the outside, you should get through it just fine. For the O'Neill Brothers setup, if you just stay in the Kuruma, all of you in the same Kuruma, and shoot everyone, you should be fine. Be careful of any gas tankers or anything that you could blow up, because that could fail the mission. And then the actual heist itself, if you just follow the directions and communicate with everyone, it's pretty simple and straightforward. You just have to shoot everyone and take all the helicopters out and you should be just fine. For the Pacific Standard setups, number 1's pretty straightforward. You shouldn't have any problems with that. Number 2, it's going to tell you to go to a boat. Don't go to that boat, just keep driving past it and go to the beach that's closest to the island, and then get on these sea sharks and just drive straight out there. It's much easier to get away this way. Setup number 3, again, if you just stay in the Kuruma and take everyone out before the van comes up, you should be just fine. For setup number 4, you just want to make sure to use 2 Kurumas, and then make sure that you take out helicopters first, because they're the biggest threat once you actually take out the convoy. The last setup, number 5, if you just use the Kuruma again and everyone stays in the same one, and then you take out all the bikers, you should be just fine. And then the heist itself is pretty tricky. You want to stay together, obviously, but exiting, you want to barely go on the outside of the checkpoint routes and run to the right over here, so you don't have to go through the gigantic waves of cops, so you could still grab the checkpoints and move on. And then when you're going to the bikes, just use 2 bikes and do 2 to a bike, and then just find a 4-door car and use that and drive it all the way to the boat. It makes things a lot easier, and it's less of a chance for you to run into something on the motorcycle and die, or get shot on the motorcycle and die. And that's it for the Criminal Mastermind challenge, you guys. $13 million, it's well worth it. It may take you a day or 2 depending on how skilled you are, but you just need to get 3 of the buddies together and go through it. It's a good way to make money. It's a fun challenge to do, and I would definitely recommend it, guys. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I'll do whatever I can to answer. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.